The resumption of the train service, but unfortunately I believe that there has been some delays, and it seems the train is actually on its way now. We understand that during the 2020 lockdown, even prior to that, there was a lot of vandalism on some of the overhead equipment that actually gets the trains moving to different destinations. And since then, since Prasa felt that they needed to rehabilitate the place, they actually locked it down and ensured that there would be uninterrupted rehabilitation of the infrastructure here. But we're going to try to speak to a few people in Tatelegai. Koporo tlhalosetse o ikutlwa jang gore diterene di a boa ka tsena?
Nna wa tsebana a ke ikutlwe alright bana diterene tse a di tsamaye hantle di tsamaya mo morago ga nako.
So o ka rata go bona go etsagalang?
Se ke se ratang ke rata gore di tsamaye go tshwana le pele.
Well, as you heard there, it's one of the commuters who's not happy, actually saying that, you know, the trains are not on time. And it seems, as you heard there, there is one that's actually coming. We'll try to speak to one of the commuters before they actually board the train. It's going to go to another platform and come back to pick up the passengers. If my colleague can just tilt to my right, you can see these are the new trains that have been introduced that are actually going to be running here. And they are being hailed as the new technology that's actually going to be a bit more reliable. Mama, we could have after so long, finally the buile vele. When am I good okay?
Alright, the Prasa le Minister of Transport hat that's on the train is Social and again Mabopane station, a Caleriemi, Remet train, Arakotafala, lately, Araikukamonati, because Remes or it on Nameter, Scalatelo, Haradi shop only me Verocom Felavio, Babamba Kubi, Babakui, Bamatarapia, Soribi. So I never know Remet train, Itakanaqueno, Eratangayon.
Mara, in terms of the finances, Catalanoro takes silly base, they are too ratsona. So, hey, so the finances are how it affected the young, especially if you can decide what's a mapila.
I can decide what's a mapila, like I level her, and then a transporter taxi at Turale, Nahori Kitlaviana, Kitiseke transporter taxi at Turakalekasa, little Ponketabets or training wheel, carry Ichipile, Econore, Racone, Afota, Leconoya, Tropo, Reconoya Maravasta, Taracono Radio, Tetaredinia, Kankatarin.
Well, as you heard, there was another commuter actually saying that she is happy that the train is back because of the cost of it is quite reasonable. But she's saying that the times that it actually moves is quite discouraging as it comes very late, and some people are actually going to get affected during their workplaces as they are not going to make it on time. I'll just try and squeeze one more person to find out what are their opinion. Mebra, how do you feel? The trains are back.
Yeah, no, it's a very good feeling that the trains are back, and since, well, the people of Mabopane and Winterfeld have been struggling with the taxis to go to town. So it's a very good thing that the trains are back.
Yes. How did it affect you personally when the trains were not there? Because it was quite a while, since 2020 or so, there hasn't been a full service from Mabopane corridor.
Yeah, you know what I will say, because I will not say that it affected me personally because of I was using public transport. But in terms of people who are vulnerable, who are not able to get transport money for taxis, they were unable to access the trains. So when the trains are back, it's 950 to go to town. Just imagine, for someone who's staying local, and then so it's going to cost him or her 950 to go into town so that he can be able to go to work. But
so you're saying a return trip is 950?
No, a return trip is 18.50. A single trip is 9.50. Wow. So it's better than going to the taxis, which is 30 rand to go to town and then 30 rand to come back. So which means the return from town to Mabopane is 60 rand.
Thank you very much, my brother. Well, as you heard there, Sakina, instead of spending about 30 rands to commute with a taxi to town, 30 rand to come back, they're actually spending about 18 rand using the train to go to Pretoria and come back to Mabopane, which actually comes in very handy for those coming from low-income homes. And with that, is back to studio.
Well, thank you so much. Ofentse Setimo there at the Mabopane station as some services resume. But as you heard there from the commuters, the more things change, in some instances, the more they stay the same because the train's still running late this morning. And people, of course, concerned about how this is going to impact their employment if they continue running late. We'll leave